Story 1. I admit some days I like to be a wall Martian. I wander around looking at items I might want to get with my next paycheck, check out the newest gadgets and games, and kick myself for not waiting another week because an item I bought the previous week is now on sale. As I did my wall Martian shopping, I passed a woman several times. She was clearly vision impaired. I thought maybe she was waiting for a friend. I asked if there was anything I could help her with. I came here with a friend and she said she would be right back. That was 15 minutes ago. She does this a lot, she replied. Not very considerate if you ask me. Is there any way I can help? I promise I don't bite. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rick. Well, Rick, my name is Connie. I would take you up on your offer, but I have to buy some personal goods, and I'm going to need a little help reading the price tags. That's why my friend comes with me. Well, I am willing to help if you are willing to accept. My arm is right here, and if there is anything you need, tell me. We walked around picking up the various items. Rick, I do need to get something. Yeah, Connie? What do you need? Well, maybe we should find a woman. The thing is, I need, feminine hygiene products. I laughed and said, Is that it? Connie, I have 3 older sisters and have gone to the store for them. Actually, there were times I had no choice. We walked to the pharmacy section, and Connie told me which brand she needed. I asked Connie if there was anything she needed other than that. Connie said she just needed toothpaste, and she'd be done. We walked to check out, and as I led her through the line, I helped her put her items on the belt. Connie turned to me and said, Does Walmart train to help disabled customers? I replied. I don't know, Connie. I don't work here, but if they don't, they should. Wait. You don't work here. You help me like that. Yeah, why not? Okay, here are some seats. What's your friend's name? I will go to customer service and have her paged. Rick, thanks for helping me. Especially with the girly stuff, Connie laughed. Connie, like I said, I have 3 sisters. Nothing shocks me. Story 2. A bit of context, this was back in January of this year. I had just turned 14. The funny thing is my birthday is on January 1st. The number of people with my birthday is so small you could probably count them on your hands. I think at this point I was 5'11" inches with a visible beard. People often mistook me for a 16 or 17-year-old. My birthday had just passed, and my parents are not the best with presents, so they just gave me money. I went out on the weekend to chill with my friend. It was around 12 p.m. when we went out to eat, and my friend started talking about how he wished he could get a personal computer. Now, my friend and I are close. I go to his house most days of the week, 3 to 4 times. Sometimes I stay over. We're basically brothers. I call his parents auntie and uncle. Same with him. He comes to my house. We even have rooms in each other's houses. He was born 4 days after me, and I really wanted to get him something nice. So he said, Let's go chill at my house. I called a rideshare service, but not to his house. It was to a computer store. We got halfway there, and he realized what was happening. He said, This isn't the way to my house. I assured him that we were going to do something very fun. Then he saw the computer store and asked why we were there. I told him it was an early birthday present. I had to give it to him early as I couldn't go on a school day. So I told him to get anything he wanted. He went wild. He tried to reject the offer, but we all know how that turns out. So we were both in the shop, and I recommended something to him and told him where it was. He went to get it. Then I heard a lady clearing her throat. I turned around, and she asked me where something was. I said I didn't know, then turned around, assuming that was the end of that. She then started ranting about how I needed to follow company policy and not pull out my phone when talking to customers. The next thing she did shocked me. She lunged and grabbed my arm. Now, the human reaction is to push her off. I'm 5'11", and she was around 5'5" inches at most, and she went flying into the personal computers. There was a loud alarm that went off. One monitor fell on the floor and smashed. Security came running to the scene, as did my friend. Now my friend is a little bit scared of confrontation, so he didn't do anything. I think he was more scared than me. She was screaming about how I assaulted her, and that I pulled my phone out. She said I worked there. However, the manager shut her down instantly. It was very funny. I think the police were called in the mayhem. They took both of our stories and started giving me dirty looks. They told me to call my parents, but I refused as I didn't want to drag them into it. Eventually, the footage came, and it was proven that she grabbed me first and I pushed her off. Eventually, I had to give my name, but I was free to leave. The police did contact my parents. The good thing was the manager gave us a 20% discount. So that was good. Story 3. The roles of the people involved are pretty obvious, so I am not going to list them. Summary: Grandma with Alzheimer's puts a difficult customer in her place. My grandmother has Alzheimer's, so she often doesn't know where she is or who is with her. I know for a fact that she has no idea who I am. Therefore, I make an effort to call her grandma multiple times in any sitting or activity we participate in. Recently, I noticed she needed her hair and nails done as the color in both those areas was fading or chipped. So I made an appointment with a family member who owns a beauty salon and took her there. Normally, customers or those waiting for someone sit in the front area and rarely accompany a person they came with inside the actual salon floor. So, I understand why assumptions were made, but still, don't mess with my grandmother. I was on the salon floor with my grandmother, sitting in a seat in front of her, while my cousin colored her hair. I was there to make sure to keep her calm and engaged while her hair and nails were being done. She was telling me the same story she had told me 10 times in the last 10 minutes. Bless her heart, when I felt someone behind me. Now we were in the farthest corner of the room, not near a bathroom or wash station, so there was really no reason someone should be behind me. My grandmother stops talking and looks behind me. Grandma, chipper as ever, said, "Hi, are you another grandchild?" The difficult customer replied, "No, I am not. And why are you not working? There is a line over there." Upon realizing she was talking to me, I said over my shoulder, "I don't work here." The difficult customer responded, "Now I can believe that. You are on the floor, which means you work here." She was talking to me condescendingly, and I do not take that sort of tone well. Neither does my grandmother. In a moment of clarity, I watched that bright chipper smile fall, and a glimpse of my brainiac grandmother peeked through. I shot a warning glance at my cousin, who was pursing her lips to keep from laughing prematurely. Grandma said, "Well, by your own logic, my dear, you must be a worker. Go get me a new cola, would you? That's a good honey bunch." The difficult customer started sputtering, and my grandma laughed. The chipper look returned to her face, and she said, "Hi, are you one of my grandchildren?" As the difficult customer stomped off in her loud high heels, my grandma turned and said loudly, "I guess not. My grandchildren are not meanies." Oh my goodness, I love my grandma. I don't know where the difficult customer went. I wasn't really paying attention after that. Story 4. Let me start by saying, I get mistaken for working at Walmart a lot because of a lanyard I wear. I keep my keys on a lanyard, and I usually wear it around my neck because it's easier to grab it and go when I need to get my car going again. I guess because it's blue, a lot of people think it's for an employee tag. Usually, it's someone older just asking where something is, or if I can get something down from the shelf for them. And usually, I'll point them in the right direction. That, or someone realizes the mistake and apologizes. It's fun to hear from a manager at Walmart that I was a very helpful young lady, because I helped get a set of dishes off of the third shelf for the lady with back pains. This woman was much different. I had just gotten off work, so I was wearing a black shirt with my company logo on it, and a pair of black jeans and black shoes. I had my purse sitting on my lap and my lanyard around my neck. I was waiting to pick up a pile of Christmas gifts and was exhausted from work, so I was pretty much dozing in this chair they had in their pickup area. This is usually where I get spotted. That was when I heard it. "Angry lady. Wake up, lazy girl." This sharp, angry voice, and I opened my eyes to see a woman who, if I hadn't heard her speak, I would have thought was a sweet old grandma. She had on this white and green striped shirt, a pair of jeans, and lots of necklaces, with her gray hair pulled back in a ponytail with cute little bangs. And she had 3 of those cheap little necklaces that you find at kids' birthday parties around her neck. Me, what? I was about half awake. "You need to help me now. Get off your lazy butt and help me. What are you talking about? She paid me no mind. Go and get me motor oil. What? No, go get it yourself. Angry lady getting furious. My son said that our car needs oil, and I'm not going all the way across the store for it. Do your job and go get it. The auto center was pretty far away, but the motor carts, from what I've seen, are pretty fast, and it's not like she had to walk. Me. 1. I don't work here, don't have to listen to you. 2. The employees here aren't dogs, they won't go fetch for you. Angry lady, now shouting, you don't get to talk to me like that. Go and get my oil. Then I want to speak to your manager. I don't work here. I remembered the lanyard and took it off to show her it only had my keys, and that it had a local college's name on it since I got it at a job fair at school. This isn't from this store. Angry lady refuses to look at my lanyard. No, that is nonsense. Do as you're told, or I will drag you to your manager myself. She grabbed my arm and tried to roll along with me, but I didn't want to deal with this, so I ran. I pulled my arm away, and with what little energy I had from my mini nap, took off running. She tried to follow me, but I was able to weave my way through a few of the clothes racks and hid from her as she shouted at me. I roamed the store a bit, looking for junk I probably didn't need but could use, mostly avoiding her. I even made my way to the auto center and picked up a tire pressure gauge since mine had broken. I found myself in the crafts aisle and had at this point stuck my earbuds in because there was a screaming kid in the area. I'm the oldest of 6, and I work in a restaurant as well as babysit. You can only take so much anger at a child. This also meant that I couldn't hear anything. So I'm staring at some paints when I see her out of the corner of my eye, at least her cart. She's really close to me, and before I can step away, she runs over my foot. I don't know if any of you have ever had your foot run over by a motor cart, but it really hurts. It's not a very heavy piece of machinery, apparently about 25 pounds according to an internet search. But it hurts when that weight is on your bony foot, especially with the 120 pounds this woman was adding to it, and the fact that I wasn't ready for this. So I screamed. I was in shock, and it felt like she had shattered my foot, especially when her back wheels went over it again, and I screamed again. I had to sit down on one of the shelves and rip my shoe off, trying to alleviate some of the pain, while the angry lady was yelling at me. Angry lady. That'll teach you to disrespect a customer, you little meanie. Now, go get my motor oil. Me. For the last time, I don't work here, and you'll be lucky if I don't press charges on you. Finally, an actual employee-confused worker came jogging around the corner, wearing a vest that had the logo on the corner and his name tag clipped on his chest. He looked entirely confused, which made sense. There was a crying 19-year-old taking off her shoe, while a woman sat in a motor cart screaming at her. Confused worker, are you okay, ma'am? He came over to me first, seeing as I pulled off my sock. My foot was swelling, and there was a little blood because my toenail had dug into my foot and cut it. Angry lady, I need your manager. She should be fired. Confused worker looked at me, confused. Me, trying to catch my breath. When I start crying, I have the worst time stopping. She ran. Angry lady starts shouting again. Angry lady, she wouldn't get my motor oil. Get me your manager. The worker looked like he didn't know what to do. He had one person sobbing and sounding like she was choking. I do a weird gasping thing when I'm trying to catch my breath. It's hard to explain while another was screaming at him. That was when she came. My hero, the mother of the screaming child from before who had apparently been screaming because he fell down. Don't believe that for a second, mostly since I heard, I want it, but I digress. She looked angry for me. My hero. What in the world is the matter with you? She was pointing at angry lady. Why on earth would you run over some random girl's foot? Angry lady. Upset. She's an employee. She needs to learn not to ignore customers. My hero. She doesn't even have a name tag, you silly person. She's wearing a uniform for another company. What made you think she worked here? Angry lady. She's wearing a name tag. Look. She reached over and yanked my lanyard off of my neck, holding it out to my hero, like she won or something. See. My hero. Snatching my lanyard and showing it to her. Does that say Walmart to you? Angry Lady finally got a good look and realized that there were only keys, and the letters on the lanyard had the initials of the college on it, and she turned white. My hero turned to confused worker. My hero, get your manager and a first aid kit, now. She sounded furious. Confused worker ran off, looking a little relieved to finally have a direction to run into, and my hero began to do the mom thing, where she examined my foot and talked to me in a nicer voice. Angry Lady tried to scoot her way out of the store, but was blocked by the greeter she was trying to take the motor cart, which is a big no-no. The manager came and asked if I wanted the police to get involved, or if I wanted an ambulance. I said no, I just wanted to get my things, an ice pack, and go. They let me sit in that comfy chair in the pickup waiting area and gave me a 50% discount on my pickup stuff, letting me take the stuff I had picked up when walking around for free. I waited until the swelling in my foot had gone down and watched the chaos as Angry Lady tried to convince the manager that I was his insubordinate employee and that I needed to be fired. He instead banned her from the store and told her if she came near his employees, he'd get the police called on her. My hero got her husband to take their kid home and come back for her, and sat with me to make sure I was okay and could get home. It wasn't my driving foot, so I could drive okay, and I was able to limp my way to my car. My foot was a fun shade of black, purple, and a little blue for a little while, but my mom and stepdad, both in the medical field, don't think it's broken. It's been sore, but I probably won't end up taking it to a doctor. The best Christmas gift I ever got, though, was watching the Angry Lady get her motor cart turned off and watch her go off, jumping around and stomping. Edit. People keep telling me I should have pressed charges. I get it. I probably should have. But I didn't need the stress of that on top of a lot of other problems I was and am currently still dealing with. She got banned. She can get arrested by someone else. Let it go. Also, as for going to the doctors, I have the mentality that if it's pain that simply doesn't go away, and I have my paramedic parents' opinion on it, then I go. But just because I've been dealing with soreness means nothing. I work on my feet constantly and probably need to give it time to rest and heal. That's it. Nothing's broken.